feel weird doing so many update videos in a row, but another day, another update it seems, and what I'd imagine may be the last update before the holidays. I mean, almost feels like it has to be, right? But anyways, we got a bit of stuff to talk about in regards to Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ today, and new content that's been released, as well as what's on the way. So as we go along, drop your thoughts below. Do you like this particular update? Do you like the little bit of content we ended up getting here going into the holiday weekend? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you'll find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. We're chasing down 600,000 subscribers, so if you'd like to join the community and stay on top of everything COD related, I'd love to have you. And finally, check out my friends over at GamerAdvantage for the best blue light glasses on the market, but more on them in a bit. For now, let's jump into this update. So let's start out on the Modern Warfare 2 side of things here. Firstly, we ended up seeing a new map, or rather an altered variation of a map being introduced here with this update, that being Shipment. The Christmas or holiday themed version of Shipment that's now live here for all to play on. We talked about how this was in the private matches of Modern Warfare 2 here as of the update, the Season 1 Reloaded update, but if you actually want to grind out the game, you actually want to end up playing on it in a public fashion, you now can via the Naughty List multiplayer playlist. Now, this is playable in that 24/7 capacity right now via that playlist. It's essentially your 24/7 that we had up until this point with Season 1 Reloaded, just now in a reskinned and renamed playlist, but it's essentially all of your same playlist that we had up until this point, but again, just the Christmas and holiday themed version of Shipment. Now, truth be told, like we talked about with the update, I quite enjoy this one. It's not over the top, it's not really overbearing like we saw Vanguard's holiday shipment being, and of course, with the overabundance of thermite grenades back in that iteration, it just turned into a Christmas hellscape. While you probably won't be able to escape the stuns and flash grenade spam at points, the entire map at least won't be on fire like it was in Vanguard, so that's always a plus if you ask me. But again, that is a reintroduction here of Shipment in a different capacity. Nothing functionally has changed, just the aesthetics of it. There's no alterations to the actual layout of the map or anything like that. It's just thematically skinned differently. Now, beyond that, outside of a variation of Shipment being introduced and a altered 24/7 playlist for that, we saw the new mode of Cyber Attack, or rather, returning mode, new to Modern Warfare 2. For Cyber Attack, though, for those that maybe aren't so familiar, they weren't around too much for Modern Warfare 2019, and when it was really big at the beginning of that year, Cyber Attack is a variation on Search and Destroy, but with a slight twist here. Being a 6v6 playlist, your goal is to retrieve an EMP device and plant it on an enemy's data center, which is essentially, again, that bomb site from Search and Destroy. However, you can end up reviving teammates that you end up having. So as opposed to Search and Destroy, where it's one and done, you don't respawn in Cyber Attack, yes, but unlike Search and Destroy, if you get knocked out, you end up having the ability to come back, and you have that sort of different variation in the gameplay loop. It offers more of a not-so sense of security because, well, if you have a 2v1, it could easily turn into a 3v2 against you. So honestly, that's a really fun mode. Happy to see that that is returning here. It was something introduced as of the Season 1 update, not just the Season 1 Reloaded update, but after now a month or so here of it just being in private matches accessible there, we now see Cyber Attack being introduced, which makes me believe that that bounty game mode that we've still yet to see in a public match fashion will be coming sometime around early to mid-January, just to round out the Season 1 offering, because again, that is something we still have not seen just yet, even though it is available to check out in private matches right now. So Cyber Attack, one of two of those modes off the board, waiting just for the next one beyond that. Now, after that, we ended up seeing some changes to Warzone Battle Royale as well as DMZ, or kind of an update as to what's happening with DMZ, but we'll get there in just a second. For Warzone this week, we end up having mini royale trios, battle royale quads, third-person BR trios, battle royale solos, duos, and trios. So you have your regular standard 1 through 4 squad types. You have your mini royale trios, which is honestly a lot of fun. I like the pacing of that. Late game, it just kind of becomes something where it can become difficult to regain because there's not as much loot. Obviously, it's a smaller zone. Then third-person BR trios is something that is returning here after being removed from the playlist for, I want to say, what, 2 weeks or so? So that is something you can jump in here over the holidays now and take a look at all of those. A little bit of everything for everyone. If you want standard battle royale, you have that opportunity there. If you want mini, you have that in trios, and same thing with third-person trios as well. And then finally, in terms of DMZ, like I mentioned, it's not anything in regards to new content per se within DMZ just yet, but rather clarification on when we can end up seeing that new content reintroduced. As we talked about in yesterday's video, we saw the removal of building 21 after just 24 hours of being choosable on where you could deploy into in DMZ. Now, there is a countdown timer here that right now, after you calculate how many hours that actually is, it'll take you to 9 p.m. Pacific this upcoming Friday into Saturday if you're on the East Coast at 12 a.m. Eastern, and then 5 a.m. in the UK as well. So roughly coming back at that Christmas Eve time frame, and we don't know if it's for a limited deployment like we saw with the first introduction here, or if I were to guess, potentially not just for 24 hours this time around, but instead this was removed a little quicker than intended because there was a bug that allowed players to end up accessing Building 21 with only one key card, where that key card was supposed to burn once you ended up deploying into Building 21, but it didn't for a lot of players. So it was just essentially an infinite entry into Building 21, which, while that's nice if you want to just really quickly extract everything that you can, get some challenges done in there, or try and farm those weapon cases for the overall 6 rewards you can end up getting, that's definitely nice, but at the same time, functionally speaking, it wasn't working as intended. So I'm partially wondering if it was pulled a little earlier than it should have because of that. But regardless, it will be returning as of this upcoming Friday night into Saturday, depending on where you are in the world. So just know that Building 21 is coming back, and it seems like based off of this, whatever is removed again, we'll at least have regular notice on when it will be returning, so that we are at least in the know and have a heads up on it. So that's definitely nice. I think that that's a nice way to sort of mitigate that limited deployment. That was the big thing that I talked about in this casual sense, was that while myself, it's my job to play this game, I couldn't find an access key out of a couple of hours of looting around DMZ. So for those that are more casual, they play a few hours a week, the odds of getting in there and finding an access key and then also getting into Building 21 was a very hit or miss window at that point. So to have the idea of when it is returning is definitely a nice touch. But that said, that's the update as of today and everything that we learned here for today and going forward into the weekend. So that said, before we wrap everything up, a reminder, check out my friends at GamerAdvantage who provide the best blue light glasses on the market. I've said it time and time again. These guys are an integral part to my daily productivity. Having worked with them for nearly 2 years now, I'd still rave about them every single day if I had the opportunity to. I've used just about every pair you could find on Amazon in terms of blue light glasses, and these are head and shoulders above any of those. They're absolutely an investment, but I think an investment well worth it. Working at my desk, looking at a monitor for 10 plus hours a day, it starts to drain on you, and doing that for years as a content creator, I've definitely noticed the difference with these pair of GamerAdvantage that I end up using. While most likely not making it in time for the holidays here if you put an order in now, they're still a phenomenal pickup for you or someone you may know that looks at a monitor, TV, or just any sort of screen for prolonged periods of time a day. So if you'd like to check out the science behind it all, their clinical studies, or any other information going way more in depth, they do a great job of describing all that. You can find the link down below, but if you'd like to pick something up, use code Espresso to get yourself 10% off your entire order. But for now, that's what we're gonna call it. Again, that's the update. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like it, dislike it, hoping for a little bit more. Are you pleasantly surprised with how many updates we've had the last couple of days here before we round into the holiday break here for everybody? Love to hear your thoughts and feedback down below, but if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything COD related. For now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.